General Bonaparte's success at Toulon, and in protecting the Republic in Paris, earned him the undying gratitude of the French Directory, leading to his first command of the French army in Italy. Having taken a huge step from his humble beginnings, the little corporal still holds further ambition, but he must first soundly defeat the Austrians in the field. Hello everyone, Chatman here, and I'm bringing you another wonderful 33rd Regiment historical line battle. This is part of Napoleon's Italian campaign, and we prepare for battle with Stage 1. Stage 1, the Battle of Lodi. Attempting to fully engage and cut off the Austrian army retreating across the river Lodi, Bonaparte throws his advance guards into action in the early hours of the 10th of May. The French must break through the Austrian line of retreat across the bridge in order to cut off the bulk of their army and force them to surrender. Okay, so you can see here everyone getting lined up. Let's see who's on the teams. You got the 33rd, the LM, which is the new name of the VA Guard, the Légion de Marabout, I believe. God only knows if my pronunciation is correct. I can literally see the members of the LM stabbing themselves in the head with their own bayonets at that pronunciation. And obviously we got members of the 33rd in there as well, lots of the LM. And on their opposing side we have the 6E, the 65Y, the 1st Brigade 56th, the Swiss, of course in there, the Infantry von Nassau the 1st, the 65Y also in there. Who else? Let's see who else we've got down here. The Swiss 5E in as well. So, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The French are moving in. Now, let's have a look at these fine fellows. There we go. Legion. And there he is, of course. Captain Baron du Corsac, I think. But you can't miss that walrus of command there. The moustache of leadership. Our old friend Lepage. Under an assumed moustache, obviously. And there is Kincaid, leading his detachment forward. Oh, that's ripe for a cannonball just there, you know it is. Anyway, you can see now the lights of 33rd have already started claiming some casualties as they're making their way through this particular area. So, bit of urban combat, who's to say? But you do have horses over on the side here. And here, obviously, are the ostriches. The evil ostrich empire. There's Recruit Predator from the 65Y. And they're backing off a little bit, obviously, to try and stay away from the evil bullets being thrown in their general direction. So let's follow these. There's Private Coin and Dynaby. Oh dear, we've just lost one behind. And here is the horses. There's Corporal Wick of the 5E. Who else is in the horses? There's Piet. There's Piet again. There's Thoma, or Thoma. Yo boy. Obit. And of course Willie. Who doesn't like Willie? Anyway. So let's just go and see what's going on over here. Because obviously you can see the KK are getting into a bit of a fight. As you can see, there's Alfstott here. And look at this. Drummer Vitor. Fine drumming from this man here. Oh, bullets coming in. Doing some serious damage. We're just going to turn those game sounds down a touch. Oh dear, we've lost Bombardier Dingus. He has been de-dingused. Now you can see the guys turning, reloading. There's Fitch live, Ezio, and Fiora. Look at that. Fine drumming work coming in. And so you can see out there, it looks like the 33rd are getting into a oh yes, that's exactly what's happening. Who are they fighting here? Hopeless Knight of the 33rd. And they're having a punch up with the 65Y. There's Senton Kiko. About to be very full of holes. He's doing a good job of defending himself. Look at this. And finally sliced across the back. Lieutenant Colonel of the 65Y fought fought bravely, and here we've got Gem Killer. And these guys all being separated out into their component parts, quite literally, and then stabbed with a bayonet. Down goes that poor gentleman. Let's have a look at our numbers. 11 members of the ostriches remain. Oh, Romaro with a fine stab onto Gem Killer. We've lost King George. Oh dear. And here is Umbra from the 33rd. Now these guys are going to reform. We're passed by Random Horse. Hello, Random Horse. They've got to be here somewhere. So if we can find them, then we'll be in a good situation. Oh, goodness me. Kincaid in there with a bit of melee fun. Look at this. And down goes PFC Farts. The fart is no more. Now, oh, look at that. Legion cut down by a bullet shot. And the remainder is being mopped up by the French army. Oh, look. Hello. Old Miko. And they're taking down whoever remains. One man left, and down he goes. There we go. Soldat Willie was the last to fall. Well, we're back with the next stage of this event. Stage 2, the Battle of Castignon Centre. Castignon was one of the first of 4 major actions of the Italian campaign. The battle began with a feint frontal assault by the French all along the Austrian front line. Now, let's see, what are they up to? Oh, back to back. They faced each other, drew their swords and shot each other. Now that's a rhyme that I remember from when I was a kid, but I can't remember the rest of it. I just seem to remember that. It's the strange way my brain works. Which, let's face it, the fact that it works at all is a minor miracle. Oh, hello. There, of course, Piper Zemrov, this time in with a drum. There's Major Carlson. And here is James Thatch, the surgeon. Look at that. Wow. There's a face that's been to medical school. You can tell that, can't you? Good stuff indeed. So, there's John Gordon of the 92nd, looking as handsome? Yes, as handsome as ever. Those fine sideboards. Oh dear. The RRA getting themselves sorted out. There's DJ Garden Gnome, the most radical of all the gnomes. There's Yid. And there's, of course, the wonderful Mr. Paul Q. So, let's see what is afoot, shall we? As the teams move out, we watch the ostriches move forward onto the battlefield. Ah, look at this. And they are pushing towards a fort of Frenchishness. Look at this. Oh, but maybe not actually. No, this is their fort, so that's alright then. I thought it may have been a French fort, but it turns out to be a fort full of ostriches. And it's being attacked by the French. Well, some of them anyway, as you can see. A few are lying down on the job. That's not good. Not good work, I have to say. Do not approve of that. Darkling of the 33rd in there with Darkling again. And there's Umbra. And Supak, marksman. Look at this. D-Day Dan. Now, who's leading them forward? It's the Spoons. Look at that. Oh dear, D-Day Dan dies next to him. Bullet may have been meant for Spoons, but D-Day Dan took it. And you can see them destroying all of this so that they can make their way through. And also assist their cavalry in making any push through as well. Now, moving in behind them, you can see here Kaiserino, Lieutenant. There's Jezjar and Cameron. Cameron again. Derpy Yordi. There's Jigger. And, of course, Private Sandwich. I'm pretty sure he was Recruit Sandwich last time we saw him. So he clearly promoted. Good stuff. We heartily approve of the promotion of sandwiches. So, let's see. Oh, look at this. Kaiserino going in for a little bit of murder with his saber. this could turn out badly for him. But he's trying to force the issue. As his teammate over here, Cameron, basically trying to stay out of the way of large and unpleasant bayonet stabbings, which will occur. Now, Oconda of the 56th. Now with Stiffo preparing for a reload. Oh dear, we've just lost Big Dick Trap. Oh God, what a name. I love it. Oh goodness me, what's going on here? Oh, it's Cameron fighting for his life against 4 men. Look at this, fantastic parrying coming in from Carrion. Carrion? No, Cameron. Well, he is now Carrion, technically speaking. And in fact, they did such a number on him, that's all that's left. Yeah, that's a rather painful death. So, those guys move back to the defence, and almost immediately they run into the 33rd, with Umbra and friends going in for a bit of stab and grab. Up on the top, James Thatch, the surgeon, kind of asking to get shot at, but you know. Now in the centre defence here, Grenadier Nisbet, young Christopher, defending with his life from the French hordes, which are currently making their way over here. From the 6E, there's Recruit Digivid. Now who's this? Joseph Cromwell of the 92nd, repelling borders. Oh, down he goes. Another member of the Legion Mirabeau, or Mirabeau, sorry, or Mirabeau. I'll have to speak to him and find out, definitely. I thought it was Mirabeau. But anyway, it wouldn't be a normal day unless I completely assassinated French pronunciation. So, here you can see them defending. Adolf's dodging as many bullets as he can while he goes for a man on a horse. Now, where is the remainder of the French enemy? Oh dear. That's sad. A sad sight to see. The French tricolor. But he held it to the end. That's bravery. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. They managed to defend the onslaught of the French. And we move on to the next stage. And here we are. On the next stage. Stage 3. Battle of Castile, left flank. Within minutes of attacking the entire Austrian position, Bonaparte throws his weight against a redoubt, anchoring the left side of the Austrian line. The redoubt, though hastily prepared, presents a difficult obstacle. The French attack with combined arms of grenadiers, dragoons and horse artillery. The Austrians must hold the defence as long as possible and knock the enemy artillery out of action, if they can. Now, look at this. The 92nd musicians. Don't they look fantastic? Piper, yo boy. Big Dick Trap. What a name. So you can see them getting set up, and here they are repelling borders against the dastardly French who are now attacking. And Major Cedric has fallen already. Shot down by Menti. As you can see, the members of the 33rd. There he is, the Colonel. And there's D-Day Dan. You can see the bullets bouncing around these boys as they push their way in towards... Oh, dear. Looks like they just lost Sergeant Major Alec. And Marksman Supak has also fallen. You can see them going on the slight roundabout route as sadly Colonel Spoons has fallen. And you can see them coming in where there's no defences, really, on a roundabout attack. And now these guys immediately, you can see there, have to repurpose their defence, get into that position, and basically push them back. But now the French have found a point of weakness, as in comes the other members of the 33rd to push this weak point and get into the flag and do the damage. So, we just have to wait and see how it turns out, shan't we? Oh dear. See the horses mopping up around the back. Who's this gentleman? Recruit Smov. Correction, Corpse Smov of the 33rd. And look at these guys. They're doing a great job of defending against the influx of Frenchmen coming towards them. Oh, look at this, even more of them. Sergeant ARCOLE killed before he could whip out his penis pistol. Dr. Toss, what a great name. And there's Dejvid getting into a melee battle. Who's this fine fellow? There's Azazel doing a bit of medicing. Trying not to sniff the ether. Aha, who's this? Of course. It's the Baron himself. From the Legion. Look at this. Saborin. The Prince. De Cressy. Oh dear, a few of them have fallen. Cadet Louis of the Grenadiers. Fantastic, and look at them. Oh God, brave souls, they always go charging in. They love their events. Do the Legion. The fine fellows of the LM. Oh, look at this, Soldat Gustave. And he falls, unfortunately, as veteran Le Prince also is felled. So you can see, who's this still repelling borders? Fusilier Shadow. And there's Recruit Snov. Or Smob, I should say. Seems to be doing a good job. Getting in there for a bit of... Oh, okay. I had to say it, didn't I? Look at these boys of the 92nd. And somebody's piping out of tune. Wrong tune. Never mind. All part of the fun, but that happens to be my favourite tune. On the piping. See, musicians get no love. That's the problem I see. Musicians just get no love. And it's a tough job, you know. Keeping the people happy. Raising the spirits of the troops. With your fine music and drumming. Clearly, Recruit Predator has an issue with the musicians. And you can see now, Drummer Vitor is fighting back against the kicks that him and his team have been receiving to the butt. So let's see, as coming in, more Frenchmen, as Nellie Binsworth. What a fine name, Nellie. Joseph Cromwell. Going in backwards or going back inwards. Either way. Spinner team kill. Oh dear. Falling. And here is Jean Leblanc. Look at him. Okay, maybe let's not. Oh dear. Major d'Aubon of the LM. Late of the LM. And there's De Cressy, Etienne. Cadet. Fusilier Cadet, no less. Fighting a desperate battle in the centre of the siege against Ada. And Ada has been removed from the planet. Oh, it's Colonel Spoons defending himself. Fine stab by Mr. Spoons there. The Colonel proving his skills as he gets it. Oh, look at that. Goes in for an opportunistic stab near a horse. As we follow Spoons defending himself from all directions. Trying to be as spike as... Oh, look at that. A sneaky stab behind on one of his enemies. Oh, look at that. Maybe a little bit of lag as we follow the Spoons himself. He's got to be careful as they're all after him. Oh, look at that. Another stab. What's going on? Spoonsy going ham, and now he's going after musicians. Yeah, you died because of that. There we go. And he eventually got team killed. So that's what happens when you go after the musicians. Sorry, Spoons. Never mind. Look at this. Of course it's the LM. It always would be. Look at these fine fellows. And look at that. The French have captured the fort. Fantastic. And we shall move on. after my machine stops going silly. We have returned in the campaign with the next stage. Stage 4, the Battle of ARCOLE. In an attempt to break the stalemate developing beyond, Bonaparte attempts a daring crossing of the bridge at ARCOLE. A small Austrian contingent under Brigadeau holds the single crossing with 4 field artillery pieces, making any attempt of the bridge a risky endeavour. So, you can see the French army here getting set up. And there's Kincaid and his boys getting sorted. There, of course, is the LM. All organised, ready to go. Sorting out his spacing, making sure everyone is good to make their way out, and away go the LM. Next to them is the 33rd. The Jolligand. Who's this fellow all on his own? It's Sandwich, clearly pausing for a sandwich. Now, let's see. As the French army make their way out. And there's Dejvid. There's Kincaid. Following him behind the line. Maybe led by Spoons? No, led by Captain Sneaky Fellow. How lovely. Now, let's have a look over here. Who are these fellows? Now, they seem to be in a light formation. So there's Veteran Umber. And leading this formation, Major Cedric. So you can tell from the spread out grouping there, these guys will be in as the lights. Doesn't look like they're using rifles. So it could be standard muskets, we'll have to wait and see. But either way, they do have the sort of spread out skirmisher arrangement. Oh goodness me, what's going on over here? Oh dear. Oh, poor old Gem Killer is murdered. And it looks like the flag has been left out as we move across to the island of the ostriches. Kaiser Wilhelm. Reich, oh my goodness, Adolfsdotter. I'm terrible with the German. And there's Recruit Predator moving to catch up with Private Coin and the rest of his regiment. As horses continue to circle around the area. There's Colonel Ryan, the leader of the 65Y. And the line, there's Nellie Binsworth. God, I can't stop loving that name. And here's Krieger of the KK. Oh, whoops-a-daisy. This has got to be the 92nd with those musicians. It is, of course. So rare to see musicians in a regiment. And it's just so good that they got 4 of the wonderful, wonderful people. Much love for all of them. Look at these fellows. Love it. So there's Krieger of the KK. Recently injured, as you can see. But supported on one side by the 65Y. There's Private Atomic. Oh no! Oh dear. I think we lost a Pfeiffer. There we go. Look at this, you can see in the horizon the French forces. You know what, I've actually heard this piece of music played by a orchestra, but I actually prefer the fife version. Very strange. Maybe it's just what you're used to. But anyway. Nice playing, lads and lady. John Gordon, the Colonel. Checking through the spyglass for the enemy. There is trouble afoot. There is footpaddery and skullduggery on the battlefield. The Shadow proves the point by getting shot in the head. By Reich Skanzler? Could be. Don't know. Oh, what's going on here? Okay, well, nothing for him, sadly. Astrek is no more. There's Spinner team kill of the 6E, the 73rd. And some lights of the 33rd with Umbra. And of course, the fine bearded Mr. Spoons, of course. There's Barrow as well. Lovely jubbly. Oh, here they come back again. Quick about face and they move away. Obviously, there we go. Bit of tree hugging going on right here between these boys. Ah, they've come back for some medicine. The fine work of Major Cedric. Bandaging all round for everyone. Although I'm not sure how smacking somebody with a bandage will stop their bleeding. Probably aggravate it. What's going on here? Oh dear. I think he may have lagged out. Or he's not paying attention. No, he wasn't paying attention. Ah, Tuberculosa of the 73rd. Obviously all that ginger hair got in his ears and he didn't hear the commands. Anyway, oh dear. We've lost some more. We've lost Smov as well from the 33rd. So let's go and have a look around. What's this? Of course it's the 92nd. And look at these guys with the double rank. The fine firing. Whoops-a-daisy. We just lost Mao. And there, of course, you can see it looks like the infantry von Nassau are under attack. Oh dear, this doesn't look good for them. Oh, here the KK, there's Live, who is now basically dead. But never mind. Here's Uganda 888, old friend. Seen on many an event. And there, of course, HSM Rune. Oh dear. Slides across the chest, that's nasty. And here, of course, veteran Obit of the infantry. Oh, Jesus Christ. The infantry von Nassau. Fine fellows. With rather large swords. Which he's just used on Uganda 888. Who is now Uganda dead. But, oh goodness. Kincaid has fallen. The drummers have been murdered. Now, who's this? It's Rune. Having a battle with Adolf Stott here. Look at this. And now reinforcements come in to assist in finishing the job. Oh, brutal shot there from Darkling. And a team kill. And finally, Reichslanzer is killed. Now, let's have a look at the numbers. 36 versus 45, so it's still pretty all to play for. Oh, goodness me, what's going on over here? Here from the 73rd, Spinner team kill. And Mr. CZE. Now, what is he doing? Mark from the 33rd seems to be lost. Now, it looks like the 33rd are getting into a stand-up punch and a fight with the enemy. Look at this. Coming in here from the 65Y, moving the line closer to their opposing number. The 33rd Lance Corporal Burns turns, moves the line in the opposite direction, and the melee dance begins between these guys. And down goes Junior, murdered horribly by Burns. And Joester and also Kashoy as well, looks to have been felled. Atomic, murdered, oh dear. Now you can see reinforcements coming in the form of the Legion de Marabout. Marabout. I suppose the trouble is Mirabeau makes him sound too much like Caribou. But, you know. Anyway. Random aside. Oh, look at that. Teamed up on the enemy. He was horribly murdered. That was Huey. No more. Oh, actually, correction. I think that was Soldat Minty. Now. And we're on to do another round on this map. Well, we're back on the map again. Same round, or same stage, technically. However, the outcome will be slightly different, no doubt. Oh, hello. Invitational wigwhack. There's Rune. And there is Uganda 888. Who's this? Duffman. Yeah, you know who that's going to be every single time you see that lineup. Oh, hello, sandwich. Paused again for more sandwiches. There's Azale. And the 33rd Derpy and friends. Oh dear, Umbra's just murdered Darkling. Now, here, the Legion moving out to support the 33rd double line under the command of King George. I love it. All shouting together, just glorious. I love it. F to pay respects, yeah, pretty much. Now, up on the horizon here, you can see cavalry circling, as they do tend to do, to try and find the best opportunity to jump the line troops. Now, they're going to come into conflict, the line troops, the French, up against Colonel John Gordon of the 92nd, complete with musician detachment. There's, of course, Big Dick Trap. And there's Piper Zemrov, Piper Yo Boy, and Vitor. And, of course, the surgeon. The doctor is most definitely in. Hope he doesn't get shot now. So, over here you can see the confrontation building up. And it looks like LM have decided to rotate their numbers and move them back in the opposite direction. Now you can see here moving up towards the river. And there we go, you can see these boys getting set up now. We've just lost Dingus. And so the 92nd form a nice double line and engage their enemy at distance. Now while they're doing that, you can see over here, now the LM have decided to move back in an outflanking position if possible and getting set up. There we go. Oh, down goes one, down goes two, and beautiful fire coming in from the LM there, taking down multiple members of the 92nd. And now the 92nd could be in trouble if they start getting attacked from the other side, but fortunately for them, their right flank is being covered by these fine fellows over here. Now, this is the 65Y with, of course, look at that, the face of the farts himself. And here is PFC Red Eye. Not the first Red Eye I've ever met. And there is Colonel Ryan. Now, Sentan Kiko, Algi, Atomic, Dynabi, Huey, Sklipper, Predator. Oh goodness, they've just turned about. They've done an about face. And why? Because things are afoot. Courtesy of this line here. Under the king himself. Oh, fire into the 92nd and the 65Y. And you can see here the line getting himself sorted. Complete with sneaky fellow basically making tactical use of trees. We heartily approve. And there, Kincaid. With a fine nozzle there on the man. So, you can see these guys loading what is generally known in Napoleonic Wars as the most accurate pistol in the history of the universe. I think officers can count on one hand the amount of times they've killed somebody with it. Although I do remember an event where, in Australia, where two guys just spent the entire game walking around with pistols, randomly shooting at people. It was fantastic. So, the boys are moving out. King George leading the way. Firing his ineffectual pistol. Sorry, but it is. If it killed someone, I probably would have died of shock. Now, it looks like the Legion de Mirabeau. See, I just got used to saying the VA Guard, and then they went and changed it, the buggers. The 33rd. Look at this, moving out as a fine line. It looks like the LM are having a little bit of a technical problem. Oh, that's exactly what they've had. Grenadier Le Prince felled by the riverside. Oh dear. Musicians floating away. Corpses draining blood into the water. Grim stuff. And they were going to sit around diet... Was that what I saw? Diet Loaf. Oh goodness me, what a name. There's Algie. Love the names of some of these players. Absolutely fantastic. So, engaging them at distance is probably the 33rd. Yes, it is. And look at that. The charge beginning with Ensign King George leading the boys forward. And look at this splatter of bodies as these guys cross the river. Oh no, he's got to take the flag with him. Oh, this is going to be a problem because they're going to catch him up. Is he going to drop the flag? Or will he be able to get over the other side? Looks like he's made it out of the way. Love it. Flying the flag. And there we go, he surrendered. Oh, look at that. One person turns to kill him. Who is it? It's Sneaky Oh dear, a water fight between him and Sneaky Fellow. And you can see the cartridges have been dropped. And Joseph Cromwell going in for an underwater... Looks like he's trying to drown himself. So the question is, who's going to die before they drown? Completely ridiculous battle this is. Look at that, a fine attack there by Sneaky. This is... Oh, there we go. A fine murder by Sneaky. But probably one of the best battles in Napoleonic Wars you're likely to find anywhere. So now Sneaky Fellow has to walk back with water-filled boots, making a squeak every time. So here's the surgeon, currently cheesing it in the opposite direction. Getting away from some rather angry Frenchmen with large bayonets. Oh, Billy got slain. And furiously teabagged. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are here on the final stage. Stage 5, the Battle of Arcole, storming the bridge. Bonaparte's aim was to cut off the Austrian lines of supply and attempt to crush the Austrian army, thus forcing them out of Italy. During the 3-day-long battle, supposedly Napoleon charges with his troops across the bridge trying to catch the Austrians by surprise. So, the guy's getting ready. You can see getting set up. Getting good to go. Look at these fine lines. Look at that. Sorting out their arrangements. Now, here you can see defending the ostriches, of course. There's Lachlan McGale of the 92nd, bravely holding the flag. Now, do we have an engineer in here doing a little bit of dirt work? We'll have to wait and see. Thomas Speedy of the 92nd. And plenty of defences being put in. And of course, musicians loitering around the area. There's Lieutenant, start again. Second Lieutenant Mao. Carlson with a new silent song. And away goes the cannonballs. Coming in from Private Alex of the 92nd. And there's Lachlan McGale, seems to be having a little bit of a moment with the horse. Now over here on the left side, you have the 1st Brigade 56th. You can see all these fine fellows. There's Beige Tack. And also supporting the KK. Now, who's this fellow? Rupert Wallace, Grenadier of the 92nd. There's these fine fellows. Oh, look at that. Rupert Wallace with a nice kill. As the poor French have to attack the bridge. Now, obviously, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Sneaky Fellow leading the charge across the bridge, trying to dodge as many things as possible. Cannonballs and, oh dear. Oh wow, look at this. This is brutal. Guys trying to make it across from the fire, the cannonballs, the musket balls, and the general bad language being sent in their direction. And you can see them running quite slowly across this bridge. And the murdering continues. Not many Frenchmen make it across that bridge. Look at this. The bodies. Oh, in comes the cavalry to force the issue. Over the top of the troops. Oh, Rupert. Rupert with a lovely canister shot. Mowing down multiple enemies. And there is Zarnost of the KK. So. Oh dear, what's going on over here? Oh dear. Adolfsdott here. Look, yeah, that's not going to go well. They obviously decided to take the only way out they could. Are they going to make it? Oh, made it! Oh my goodness! Adolfsdott made it to the other side. Wow, that's serious lungs on that lady. That's impressive. But the entire French army is probably over here somewhere. Clutch or ban. And Adolfsdott is no more. Yeah. Okay, so mental note when crossing a bridge against cannons and musket fires, generally try and avoid. Exactly. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. And thank you, of course, to the 33rd Regiment for their historical line battle, for the invite. And to all the regiments for attending and making this an event so much fun. We'll see you again for more Napoleonic Wars. Take care. This is why I love the LM. Look at these guys. While everyone else is running around team killing and being daft, the LM is lined up and ready to go. Disciplined, drilled, and being attacked by a random horse.